The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink TV, its sponsors, or partners.
This is the best time of the year. I mean, no thermal underwear, no cleaning off the car at -40, and I mean, getting more than 4 hours of daylight so you don't feel like a vampire. You get t-shirts, shorts, bikinis, socks, and sandals, just not together, and I'm all in for this. But what I really love to do during this season is sample what Northern Ontario has to offer. I'm Chris Mask, and I love food. I mean, cooking's my passion. It's in my blood. And you might ask, what does Northern Ontario have to offer exactly? These. Transforming these little dirt nuggets into crispy, golden works of art. And it's my job to try them all. All right, so here we are, Fire Flame Jerk House. Number one, I'm flattered you named it Jerk House after me. You really didn't have to.
Well, anytime.
But Nikki, this is honestly one of the true gems that Sudbury has to offer in terms
that's very
of food.
kind.
How long you been around? About a year and a half now, right?
About a year and a half. We opened up October of last year. Well, the year before, so a year and a half.
And how have you found it so far?
So far so good. Sudbury's been very good to us. We've been getting a lot of support, which we appreciate. Started off a little rough, but the word is starting to spread. We're building momentum.
And you had celebrity status here as well?
Yes, Mr. Danny Glover came in, which was amazing.
And I can see the pictures up around here
That's
too.
That's right. We had to showcase him for sure, and that was definitely an honor to cook for him. He came in for the whole week, and I was calling and ordering, so that was very, very nice.
You were like his little personal chef.
That's right. So excited.
How's your husband like that?
That was funny. He was in Toronto and he couldn't get up here, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm missing it."
Well, we'll just leave the Danny Glover talk there, though. That's probably for the better. Now, you do offer authentic, and I mean authentic jerk here, so much so that you get the pimento wood brought in from the States.
That's right.
And you make it on your smoker out back?
That's right. So what we do is in the summer, we try to do the jerk chicken outside on the smoker. We get the pimento wood from the US, like you said, and it's shipped in, and we smoke the meat, and it gives it that real authentic Jamaican style of jerk.
And just about everything in here is scratch made.
That's correct. We do. We make everything from scratch, from the curry goat, oxtail, curry chicken. The only thing that we don't make from scratch are our beef patties, and we get them made specially in Toronto.
But I see a pina colada cheesecake over there.
And that's definitely homemade.
And your carrot cake, you were raving about that too.
Yes, carrot cake is homemade. All our baking is done homemade.
All right, so why don't we get into the kitchen then, and let's see the magic happen here.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Fire Flame Jerk House. We're now behind the scenes. What are you making for us, Nikki?
I'm going to make you a traditional chicken roti.
You know what you're doing when you're making roti? You're Jamaican me happy.
Yes, I am. Even though rotis are not, it's not a Jamaican dish. It's a Caribbean dish, but it's not a Jamaican dish. Rotis are like, it's more like a Trinidadian. They're very big on the rotis.
So what are some of the other things you have going?
Well, I'll give you a tour, a visual tour, if you'd like. But what I'm putting in now is just the chicken, the curry chicken that we make in the mornings.
And you can see how that's falling apart even just from being put in with a spoon.
Yeah, so it's very tender. The mixture that you saw me put in was potatoes and chickpeas with sweet peppers. We do onions in there, garlic, and that's basically a chicken roti.
But you're forgetting one really important component.
The hot sauce?
Your hot sauce. Now this is scratch made in-house.
This is an in-house homemade hot sauce. We make it with Scotch bonnet peppers, a little bit of garlic, sweet peppers, and it's delicious. Goes good on everything.
What's the largest amount a human can consume of that before they just spontaneously combust?
You know what though? This container, you'd probably make maybe 2 uses out of this, 3. Depends on how hot. If you can handle it, 1 is like killer.
I like hot, and I'll be honest, I get 2 uses of it.
Yeah, I think 1 is a little bit too much, but some people have asked me to pour the entire thing in the roti, so.
Now, these recipes come from your mother and I guess ultimately your grandmother.
Yes, yeah.
So there is a lot of down home that you put into this.
That's right. And the good thing about Caribbean food is that it takes such a long time to cook. So it's kind of like such a prideful thing, you know? You put a lot of time and effort into the flavors and putting the flavors together. Like oxtail, for instance, takes about 4 to 5 hours to cook, right? So this is our oxtail here, which is a beef, very tender as well. And like I said, it takes about 4 hours to cook it down and render all the muscles. This is our curried goat.
Which is fantastic, by the way.
One of
If
our
you want an
best
endorsement for your curried goat, I will gladly put my face on the side of this building, kissing a goat if that's what it's going to take, because it is delicious.
I might call you on that. And here is our jerk chicken. And that's more for somebody who wants spice. If you really like spice incorporated in your food, the jerk chicken is probably the best to go. But like I said, the homemade hot sauce is great on everything. It's served up with rice. Oh, it's curry chicken. With our homemade rice and peas.
It's like a memory game. What's under what?
That's right. That's right. And this is our homemade rice and peas. And that's what most of the meals are served with.
And it's very simple and it's very traditional, but again, it's the love. And like you say, you know, it's a family event a lot of times when it comes to cultural cooking, because it takes that time.
That's right.
And that's something that society unfortunately seems to be getting away from with the convenience of fast food.
That's right. And that's what we thought too. We were like, because we've had people who have come in and asked, you know, well, you guys thinking about doing like a jerk chicken poutine, let's just say. And we're like, we just kind of want to keep it as authentic to the Caribbean as possible, because there's pride that people take into cooking when things take a little longer to cook and you are able to develop flavors. Like I said, you know, it makes the food feel like home.
And
so
you
when
do
you come here, we want you to feel like you're home.
And you do have little specials from time to time as well. We were talking about the saltfish fritters that you do.
That's right. We do saltfish fritters. We usually do on Thursdays and Fridays. We do a freestyle Friday now, where we just do anything we can think of for that day, and it's featured for the whole day. So, for instance, last week we did like cow foot, which is a traditional Jamaican dish.
Very much so.
Yeah. Before that, we've done like a seafood curry shrimp platter. So it's worked out.
Now, a lot of people hear Jamaican food, and I mean, even because you have fire and flame, they're thinking this is going to be over the top, spicy and hot.
Yeah, and we thought about that too, but it's not. The only thing that's really spicy, like I said, is the jerk chicken. And that's the spice incorporated, and that's just because that's how jerk is made. Absolutely. But everything else is mild to no spice at all.
Because a spicy cheesecake, that would kind of be a little different, but it's something I would try. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So hands down then, I know you spend your day around this food. What is your favorite thing that you make?
I would say that my favorite thing that I make is jerk chicken. Yeah.
Again, a labor of love.
Yeah.
And your smoker?
I love the smoker. I love the smoker. The flavor that comes from there is unreal.
Excellent. Well, let's get into this, Roti, and give this a shot firsthand. Okay, Fire Flame Jerk House, this is your roti. Now, Nikki,
It's a chicken roti.
there are a few things in this world that truly make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Kisses from puppies, catching a really big fish, I guess spending time with family. But roti, this is, oh, you have no idea how excited I am. Now, let's make sure that I don't kill myself with this. So we'll go for about a half of your Scotch bonnet.
Yes. You can even smell it. The peppers are ready.
But it's peppers right on that. Like, you just grind them up with a little bit of vinegar.
We do vinegar, we do sweet peppers in there, give it a little flavor. So it's not just heat, but there is actual flavor behind it.
So again, nice filling, your potatoes and everything. See, now normally I just pick this up with my hands and eat it, but I'm trying to be a little classier here and avoid a lot of strange eyes on me for this. I'm too happy to speak. This is an awesome job.
Good, thank you.
I can see why your new employee used to frequent here and now wants to work here.
Yes.
Because when you're not around, she'll just and just eat this all day.
Yes, the roti's pretty popular here. We
This
sell a
is-
lot of rotis.
This is fantastic. If you want an authentic Caribbean cuisine here in Sudbury, this is exactly where you need to be, because I'm telling you, this is as real as it gets. Nikki, fantastic
Aw,
job.
thank you very much, and thank you for coming.
Can I get a hug on the hug?
Yes, for sure.
Don't tell your husband or
I won't.
or Donald Glover. You got to try this place. I'm telling you, this is aces all around the board. When it comes to Northern Ontario, you have to love the fact that this is, one of nature's greatest supermarkets. And out here at Jocko Point, Matt, you've got a winning thing going on here. This is right from Lake Nipissing, this pickerel. So what inspired you to open up a fish stand here at Jocko Point?
Well, I've been a fisherman since I was 13 years old, and I love buying fish. I love cooking fish and eating fish.
So it's almost like the whole Forrest Gump and the shrimp thing, right?
That's right.
Fish gumbo, fish sticks,
Yeah.
fish fillets.
That's right.
Now, you get your fish from fishermen right here on the reserve, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you also give back to the community?
I donate to a multiple amount of charities on the reservation. Yes.
What has to be one of the biggest challenges for you running a fish stand on the side of the highway?
Not really sure.
Staffing, just trying to attract people to come off the road?
Yeah, trying to keep everything.
Happy and running.
That's right.
That's a good way to put it, eh? So you've got a pretty good sized menu out here. Are these all recipes that you've developed yourself, or have you turned to people and family to help you along with those?
We've added different stuff every year and taken stuff off as people wanted them and didn't want them.
I understand you're trying to work on fish balls currently. Not an anatomical part of the fish, but just an actual physical.
I've been throwing out the bones for years, as you can see, and we're just trying to reuse
It's like
the
awful
stuff,
cooking, right?
the stuff that we're throwing out, and it's actually working so far, but until people start to buy it and try it, it's hard to convince somebody to eat fish bones.
Well, it is, but I mean, at the end of the day, you think about all the stuff that gets processed, right?
That's
I mean,
right.
stuff where you don't know where it's coming from. You know this is Lake Nipissing pickerel.
That's right.
It's real fish, as you can see by the fillet. It's not processed. And if you're putting out a quality product, I think the people will buy it when they see it, once they get used to it, right?
Hopefully. I like it, so usually when I like something, other people like it too.
Well, I hope so, considering that you're the owner here.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to head back into your kitchen, and it's Tamara? Tamara. I don't want to screw that name up because she might throw my head into a deep fryer, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing all the cooking for us.
All right.
Thanks for your time, Matt. Let's go back into the kitchen and check this out. Okay, so Jocko Point Fish and Chips. We're back here in the kitchen, and this isn't some great transformation here for Matt. We're now actually with T, as you like to be called.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because that's the easiest way to refer to you, as you say.
Yep.
So give me the story about how you got involved with this, because I found this interesting.
My husband and I moved up here 10 years ago, and he said, we're going to move north, I'm going to buy a company and you can retire. I used to be on the road with the restaurant business, opening, closing restaurants, managing them, so 24 hours a day, you're tired. So I said, you have me at a weekend, let's do it. This was the store. They had a chip truck when I came here. They had just bought it. It was running for maybe a half a season. So I went to the store and I was, I got talking to the manager there, and I said, well, let me go look at it. Let me see what you can do productivity-wise, because it's small and maybe I can help you. So by the time I left, I had said, okay, well, I can work a shift or two to help out. And 10 years later, 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, I'm here. And I love it. And you know what? On a Friday night in the chip truck, we would be like lined up 2.5 hours for pickerel and chips.
Well, one thing you said to me, too, that I absolutely agree with is that this isn't one of those instantaneous show up, get your food.
Nope.
food takes time,
Yep.
and you'll tell people flat out you're going to have to wait.
Yep, we have a thing here, and that's actually why people find it really astounding when you say, like, there might be 7 people in line. It's early, right? And I'll say, okay, 15 minutes, and they're like, 15 minutes for what? And we're like, oh, it's a 15-minute wait time. That's how long it will take before you get your food. And they're like, who does that? Who at this kind of a place tells you that? So I said, and that's what we do. I run it like I ran my restaurants, like, in the kitchens and stuff. We'd have 50 chits up. I can say, okay, it's going to be 45 minutes. And I stick to that. Plus, we also have people coming here, and our takeout is probably 45 to 50%. So we're also maintaining, okay, I've got 10 at 6 o'clock, I got 5 at 5:30. So you know what, we say, we put a lot of love into it. That's all I can say. A lot of love, a lot of care in what we do. We don't just whip it out the window here.
And there's a lot to love too, because it's a pretty big menu. You've got the 40 Creek burger, and of course, fish and chips, that's your staple.
Yep.
So what are you whipping up for us today here?
So right now I'm doing our lemon pepper pickerel balls.
So this is the experimental thing.
This is a thing that we just did because, you know what, there's so much waste in everything that you do, and like you're sitting there and you're throwing stuff out, so we thought, well, why not? Let's try to use what we can, right? So we made it into like a ground meat, basically, and we started the patties and the balls. And that's what we're doing right now. So we add a little bit, and again, experimental, but so far so good.
Yeah, because when you're handling delicate balls like that, you really have to know what you're doing.
After handling 400 balls in one night, I'm telling you, it's amazing.
And it's your own scratch-made batter that you're using for the fish. We won't get into what this experimental fish ball thing is right now, but for the fish patty, you're using this secret blend that you won't even tell me anything about.
No, it's
just
a secret. I've had people offer to pay us, offer to give me every story that you can imagine.
And from as far away as BC.
I have a fella that he messages me on Facebook on our page and saying, I know you probably can't, but it'd be really nice if you could send us out because we don't have anything like that. Never tasted anything like that. You know what? It's our thing. It's our thing, and we love it. And you know what? We've never changed it. That's what I think people find amazing. I have a girl that just came here. She hasn't been here for 8 years. And she goes, the fish tastes exactly like I remember it.
Why would you change it if it's working, right? And like Matt was saying, it's basically tip to tail. So you're using as much of the fish that you're getting out of Nipissing as possible for this. So it's waste not, want not.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the way it should be with so much. I mean, everybody works hard for their money, and it all works out. The people that fish for us, what we do, he has to pay employees, things like that. It all works out. Everybody works hard for the buck. So you want to do that. Sorry, I just got to check this here.
And there's a whole lot of goodness going on in this fryer behind us here too.
Yeah, you know what? We do also do pickerel bites as well.
Pickerel bites. Do you use the cheeks as well? That's one thing I didn't ask Matt about.
We like to call it the pickerel. That's why we named it pickerel bites. So people, some people say cheeks. Oh, whatever. I said, well, they have them.
Yeah.
So and they're the filet mignon of the pickerel.
It
is the filet mignon. It melts in your mouth. It's
one of the dishes
crazy.
I did for MasterChef Canada actually involved pickerel cheeks, and people thought I was crazy when I said that. It's like sweetbreads. You call it sweetbreads, people will eat it. You tell people what it really is.
Exactly.
Not so much,
and
right?
that's what it's that's what it is.
Your Caesar salad, people come back for that constantly. You make your scratch-made aioli to go with this.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we have pretty much everything. Like our garden salads and everything are made fresh every day. Our coleslaw is made from scratch. We make it. Well, that we go through so much. We have to make it 3 times a day, and we only make it in short portions. So therefore, it's fresh all the time. Everything we want to give out there, when they're eating it, it's fresh, it's crunchy, it's fresh,
And that's what you want, T.
Listen, you know what? I'm still overwhelmed to this day of all the amazing customers we have. Like, they keep coming back year after year, and they're more new, and and we don't advertise. So it's all word of mouth. Everything is word of mouth, so.
Let's get into this then and try this and see what you got going on. All right, so Jocko Point Fish and Chips tea. We've got a couple different things here, and the nice thing is that we're not going to gum this up with any lettuce, tomato, or buns.
No.
What are the 3 things we got going on here?
So we have the lemon pepper pickerel balls. just done in an egg wash and a nice flour with a little bit of homemade lemon aioli. These are the fish burgers, and it's more or less the same. They're same, but they just not as much lemon in there, like the lemon pepper, not as strong.
Plus, you've used actually the different dredge for these.
This is actually, the dredge
secret
that
dredge.
we use is our secret dredge, our seasoning. And then this little guy on the side here is done with our seasoning, and it's our pickerel.
Yeah, so it's
fillet.
like basically pickerel 3 ways that we got going on here.
3 ways, exactly.
So again, lovely color here.
And you know what's
on
funny
this.
about this? This is, okay, so this is a little chilled, and you're gonna love it just as much.
I love anything
I know,
fish-wise.
I know.
You got a really nice crunch on there.
Oh.
There's a great flavor, just enough salt on this. Like,
Yeah,
that's a lovely cook on this.
yeah.
And I really like that seasoning.
Isn't that good? Yeah.
And
it's
when you
yummy.
talk about guessing the spices, I have a couple things going through my
Yeah.
head right now.
I
As
can't
eaten
tell
my
you, you
little-
know that. You can try. I might go,
Can I get a hug for everyone I get right?
Okay, done.
Salt?
I'll give it a half one.
A half one? Paprika?
Okay, I'll give you one. But that's it.
I'll stop there so I
Yeah,
don't get
yeah.
into it too much.
There is quite a few, actually. There's probably about
So these are
7
the
or 8.
experimental fish balls.
These are, yep, these are our fish balls.
So I mean, like right off the top there, you've got a nice crust that
crunch.
develops on
Yeah.
that, which is great. How long do you think till you hit your perfection on this?
Well, we just started this last week, actually.
So you can see, when you talk about using basically nose to tail cooking with the
Yeah.
fish, there's no bones in
Nope,
this
nope.
because it's all the
Yeah.
processing.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and say, well, I would never eat anything with bones in it, right? Well, again, what do you think you're getting when you buy this process?
And you know, and the funny thing is,
So-
most people will, they don't believe if you sit there and go, okay, like obviously nothing's 100%, but we don't want to guarantee it, but we can almost say, you're not going to find any bones here because we don't like the bones.
No.
And if we don't like the bones, you're not going to get the bones, you know?
So, number one, really good job with your balls.
Thank you. Thank you. Love the balls.
Your husband would be proud of
Would
you.
he? Yeah, he would.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to go to the patty here. And again, much like the fish and the balls, you got a really good crisp on it. So I mean, that's obviously goes to what you got your temperature set at.
Yeah.
Lovely. You can see nice big chunks of pickerel in this. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
filler in here.
No, nope, nothing.
This
no
is
filler whatsoever.
this is as real as you get.
Yeah, no filler.
With a spice blend on your conventional pickerel, putting that on this patty,
Yeah.
that's a winner.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, that's been, actually, as I said, we at the birthday party, we put that in there. Nice.
That's a big old high
Thank
five.
you.
Jocko Point
Hugs
Fish
and
and
high
Chips.
fives.
Oh, I'll give you a hug too. Don't tell your husband. Jocko Point Fish and Chips. You got to come out here and try this, including the experimental fish balls. As an Italian, I know meatballs, and I've been called one or two
Last name,
meatballs.
Galati.
Galati.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad I met you.
Well, hope you got your fill from this episode, but don't worry, we'll be back on the wagon and hitting the dusty trails soon enough. Until next time, I'm Chris Mask. Thanks for watching.